that attention. So we're going to start with the basics. I'm going to start from the very, very, very beginning. Everything that's in your med cards has to be logged on essential steroid medication. Every bottle, the bubble packs. Now, if you have a medication that's 3 times a day, it's a bubble pack, right? Or 2 times a day. Let's say you have Colace 2 times a day and you have 2 bubble packs, right? That just counts as 1 medication. You don't have to write 2 lines, right? It's just 1 medication. So every medication needs to be logged. And the information that's required, so this is our state form, right? This is our state form. And this is the form we use when we're handwriting and logging it by hand. So typically, if it's a bottle over the counter, it's gonna go in one of these forms, right? So, and you need to fill out all the information on the top. You've got last name, first name, middle name, admission date, that's gonna be their move-in date, and then who is their doctor. These are a mess right now. They're not being done properly, okay? So this is why I'm going over this with everybody, because there might be some confusion as to, because then what happens is we also, with the cycle, we get pre-printed, right? And they look like this, but they're printed, and this is great. We love that we get these. Because when we get the cycle, then we don't have to do it by hand. And it should match. So one of the things that often gets missed on these is the date started, but they pre-fill the date started for each. Because the cycle, they're already going to start in the first, right? So this is great. And what happens is at the end of the month, these are pulled because the medication's finished. And then we file them away, right? For the ones that we have to hand fill out, I couldn't find, does anybody, oh, you have one right there that you've been filling out, right? So you're starting a new one for Joan Kagan?
I did one already.
Good job. So, Myrna has filled one out, this one you filled out, or this is just Peter Wolchop's?
That's all the old one.
Oh, this, okay. So this is just one as an example that's filled out by hand. You always want to make sure, so you have, if you need to visually want to look at the one in your book, you're going to have the medication name, the strength and quantity. So usually you would write the strength, and then you could put a little bar if you want to cut that little box in half, and then put how many you received. Okay, that's very important. And then you have all of this information is going to be on the label. Instructions, expiration date, and the date it was filled. And then you have the doctor, prescribing doctor, prescription number, number of refills, and then what pharmacy. So you write the pharmacy. If it's over the counter, what number do we put for prescription number? Anybody know?
OTC. We don't have
OTC. Sometimes it has a lot number.
Oh.
If there's a lot number, put the lot number. If it's good try. Or if it doesn't, then you could put OTC. And name of pharmacy, OTC, right? Which is fine. So that explains that, okay? How I organize these books, oh, well, let me just go back. So in the middle of cycle, if you get a new order for an antibiotic or whatever it might be, in the middle of the month or after the cycle has been delivered, you're going to get one of these, right? It's only going to have 1 medication on it. This is all the information that's supposed to be on here. This is fine, and again, this is easy for us because we don't have to hand fill it out. And then this needs to go in here. What happens sometimes is we don't go back and put the date we started the medication. There is a spot here, start date, okay? So what happens in your workflow is you're passing meds, oh, you get a new med, or you get a new bottle, let's just say, that was already logged here. Let's say you didn't start it on your shift, right? Or you came in last night, but now you're gonna start it the next day. You gotta go back and put the date started. You have to. It's just part of the process that needs to be done. But again, it's easy because we don't have to fill the rest out. We just put this in with the rest of their essentially stories, right? And again, but we have to be careful not to pull any of these if the medication is still in use. So if the medication is still in the cart and we're still giving it, this needs to be in here. So we don't want to pull these, okay? And a lot of this is for the night shift. That's why I'm recording this, because they're the ones that pull this. Do not pull these if the medication's still in the cart. I'll make that clear. So how I divided these books up are cycle and non-cycle. Okay, cycle is easy. Alphabetical order. Anything that comes with a cycle are these. They go in the front under alphabetical order, right? Easy peasy. Non-cycle, so I did it that way. That way it's easy. Every month we know we can pull these, no problem. The ones back here, we're not pulling these. Unless you know for certain that medication is no longer in the cart. Makes it easier. So non-cycle also includes these guys that are handwritten, right? I'm not seeing any of these here. I think what happens is with the cycle, when they're pulling these ones, they're pulling
Yes.
these ones too, and then we go back to look and we're like, it's not here. These have to be in there. Okay, very, very, very important. So you might see something like this, that's fine. This is what we're gonna see back here. It's the ones that are individual from the pharmacy or these handwritten ones. The other one, and I don't know if anybody has one in their book right now, but the ones that might come from hospice pharmacies. What hospice pharmacies are doing is every time they send even one medication, they're printing the whole Century Store, and it's all wrong. It's all wrong because we only need that one to be logged. So probably
Those are hospice.
This one's.
There's one too. Where Peter.
well, this is a MAR. This is not a, okay, this is an MAR, so that's not even a Century Store record. This is a handwritten MAR. So this isn't what we need. So that does not qualify. This does not qualify as a Century Store for hospice. Okay, so that has to be shredded. Blazevich. Okay, here's an example. So here's an example. This is a consolidated delivery sheet. This is not a centrally stored med record. Okay, if it doesn't say centrally stored med record on top, it is not a central. So we're just gonna shred that. We don't need those things. Get rid of them. Put them in the shredder. Anybody else find a hospice one?
We should have a hospice.
In here?
It's in here.
Who's on?
Joan Peter.
Oh, she didn't have any.
No, I wrote it
I
down.
know.
I wrote those medicine that is in the cart. It's in it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
no.
looking to see if we
Oh,
have
okay.
one that's from
Hospice.
the,
Marshall Friedman?
okay, let's see. So, to see if we have one that came from the hospice pharmacy. So, no, this came from Encino Pharmacy, and it does look like we have one medication logged. But does he only have one med in the cart? No, he's got a lot of meds in the cart. So we're out of compliance right now. So I imagine that he at one time, whenever the meds came in, he had all of the meds. It needs to stay in here. But this probably looks like it came with a delivery of only the one medication for a refill. So this is fine. We can put it in there. But I would put this in non-cycle.
I need to still Chelsea real quick.
What you can't before what's going on?
President Bell.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Daisy, will you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Did he go ahead and get, Asadilla?
Okay, so questions.
Yes.
Any questions about this right now? Since we are
No, I didn't get it.
I'll put this over here. Is this clear for everybody how this is supposed to work? Yeah, it's very important. Now, at a minimum, if you're in the middle of passing your meds and you grab a new bottle and you open up the bottle for the very, very, very first time, and you don't want to, at that moment, go back and to the book because you're got too much stuff on the table, at least write the start date on the bottle or the package, not on the label, but somewhere where it's white, where you're not altering the label. But we have the date started stickers for that. You put the sticker, you put the date started, and that way you're not interrupting your flow. If you don't have stickers, let's say you run out of stickers, any stickers you want, you can send a message in Slack to the pharmacy and they will send us whatever we need. Also, just a side note, if we ever were totally out of pill crush pouches or med cups, you can ask the pharmacy to have some delivered as an emergency. I always try to make sure we're stocked with all that stuff, but we should be good. But anyways, we really need to clean these up. So I need your help. And knock shift, do not pull all of these Century Store med records, only the one for the previous month. Do not touch the non-cycle. I will have wellness team and myself be responsible for pulling those if they get too thick. Maybe that will help with some of the confusion. And unless you have any other questions, Chelsea, I think that's